Hi, I'm Duncan Norris and welcome to the world of BoatScrubber, a world where absolutely everybody wins. Myself and my colleagues and some of our supporters would like to tell you a little bit about our world, a world of eco-anti-fouling, where life's greener, cleaner, faster and cheaper.
We were having a meal with a friend and I just put anti-fouling on my boat, put it in the water. I think it costs me around about £200 to put the anti-fouling on. And within 5 weeks of putting the boat in the water, it was fouling up. So I made the comment that it would be useful to have something like a car wash to clean the boats, something that didn't take time out of your sailing. And the more the conversation went on, I said, I think I could do that. And so somebody said, well, I bet you can't. And so really it was a challenge, and that's how it all started.
Getting back to England from Egypt, I came across, met Adrian at a car boot sale of all places. I sold him a leather jacket and he sold me a boat scrubber, and that's how I got involved with the company. Myself and my father invested just on the concept and the idea.
Money was needed and I was in a position to supply it, and I supplied it. It wasn't a matter of buying shares. Basically, I spent money on prototypes, bits of equipment, having things made. I bought the first unit. I bought a territory.
This is the Port Solent boat scrubber. This was our first production model, and it's also the headquarters of BoatScrubber Marine Limited. What you can see is the two brushes protruding out of the water, and the rest of the unit sits on the seabed. It consists of about 2 tons of galvanised steel, which takes a 3-man team about a day and a half to actually bolt together.
The secret of this is it's actually quite simple to manufacture and assemble and install. So it's cheap to produce, and then it's very simple to maintain. There are very few moving parts. The hydraulics are all fresh water. It's a closed loop system, so that should look after itself. The electronics are all in a sealed cabinet on the pontoon. I'm trying to find sites with the right population of boats and then with the right sort of infrastructure around us. So you do need power and water. You need the right sort of depth of water, somewhere between 3 and 7 meters. So if it's too shallow, then your boats won't get in. If it's too high, then the arms won't reach the boat at high tide. Each particular site has been a different engineering challenge. Sometimes we've used cranes, and sometimes we've used divers, and sometimes we've used lifting airbags, but we usually seem to find a way of getting the unit in the right place, working in the right way in order to service our customers.
BoatScrubber is a little bit misleading. This is a gentle wiping process of soft bristles, and it's aimed to be gentle to ensure that the minimum impact to the environment is made.
The one thing about these very long arms is that they bounce with the boat. So this scrubbing action is about as best as you can get.
Conceptually, it's just so far away from what everybody else has tried. I probably started looking at these things 30 years ago. Nobody's ever come up with a viable machine before. This one is it. And it's going to make a huge difference to the marine industry. Certainly with all the environmental issues at stake, with all the interest in maintaining our waterways, this operation and this machine allows us to get away from poisoning our lakes and coastal regions.
If you look at this harbour and the boats that are weedy, the reason they're weedy is that the anti-fouling has stopped working. The growth on a hull starts to build up within minutes of putting the boat in the water.
Once legislation took the poisons out of anti-fouling, like TBT being one of the main ones, the anti-fouling doesn't work properly anymore. So instead of painting your boat just once and then having at least a year out of it without growing weed and barnacles and things, the boats start getting slime and grass and barnacles after about 3 months. At this point the boat starts slowing down. If it's a powerboat, it wastes a lot of fuel and a lot of time. If it's a sailboat, it doesn't sail fast as it used to. It won't point as close to the wind, and eventually they become quite hard to manoeuvre.
Till now, the only options you have is to crane the boat out of the water and pressure wash the paint. Or take the boat down the harbour, lean it against some posts or a harbour wall until the tide goes out, and then work very quickly to clean the paint off before the tide comes back in. Or else send divers down and get them to scrub the bottom of your boat.
It's a dangerous occupation, diving. Diving and scrubbing boats, you're in contact with a lot of toxic paint. And even if you're wearing gloves and the right sort of material, under the water liquid's going to be going into your mouth. These sort of paints are going to be touching your skin.
I've been messing around with boats all my life. I've done it for a living most of my life. And I've spent hours anti-fouling boats, and obviously the way things are going with anti-fouling, where it's becoming illegal to put the things in that made it work, we needed something else. And along came BoatScrubber. And I like the people, I like the concept, I like the idea it's not fouling up where we actually enjoy ourselves. Because it's not just the marina you're keeping the boat in that's getting fouled, it's all the places you go in the boat, like up nice rivers, into little ports and estuaries.
A lot of people who own these wonderful boats have families too, and our waters are becoming more and more toxic wherever you go around the world. There are so many children who love swimming in the sea, and I just want to make sure that we try to make a difference to the environment so that our children and the children behind them can always go swimming safely.